Alright, so hello, I guess we're live. So, as I often start these streams, I wasn't really planning on streaming today, but, well, I had a few options. One, I considered streaming the Genshin Impact event, but from what I've seen, it seems like it's barely anything. And another one was continuing to play my Devil May Cry 3 from yesterday. But one issue with that one was that I didn't sleep that well last night, and my physical condition is just not there. As I guess more so than my physical condition, my mental concentration and clarity isn't quite there if I'm gonna be able to beat that mission 4, where I died 23 times out of the 30 times I died yesterday, or Dante died. 23 were in mission 4. So, still stuck there. And like I said, I'm going to need a lot of just very tight concentration as well as good physical condition in order to pull that off, I think. So I decided I'll table that until maybe Sunday. I'm not sure if I'll be able to stream on Saturday. Well, probably because we have some pretty poor weather for most of the weekend, so I'll probably be indoors almost the whole weekend. So I might stream a bit more like during the afternoon. But anyway, I decided to play this because this is more relaxing than DMC. And I am really interested to see where the story goes. And I'm also very, very interested to see more of Tifa's apps. So, I think overall a good enough reason to keep going. And let's pick up right where we left off, because I don't even need to load the game because I haven't touched my PS4 since the last stream. Prep Boulevard. Alright, let's look at Tifa. She has. Oh, okay. So are these items shared? The item numbers look like the same. So on Tifa, she doesn't seem to have any spells right now. I do kind of wish there was a mini-map of sorts. Maybe there will be one. Right now I see that there's a kind of a guidance thing on the top that points me at where I want to go. But given that Tifa was just saying, what is it, you got people you got somewhere in the west that you can go to. I was hoping I could look at the map and say, oh, that way's west. It's pretty neat. You actually got people doing some bodyweight workouts. Let me take a look at this guy's squat form. That's actually really good squat form. Wow. So I know a lot of people tend to say you don't want your knees to go past your toes, but that's actually not quite true because it's basically impossible to do a proper squat that low anyway without having your knees go past your toes while still maintaining balance. So, but the thing is, of course, you don't want the knees to go too far past your toes. So the advice that people give, don't let your knees go past your toes, is just a good guidance to keep the form right. But the fact is, if you're doing a proper squat, your knees should go a little bit past your toes. You just should try to minimize it. Yeah. Now, if you do a shallow squat, one that doesn't even go to 90 degrees, then yeah, your knees might not go past your toes, and you won't lose balance because you're just not going that deep. No, that's fine. But that guy was clearly doing a pretty deep squat. It was smaller than 90 degrees. The Scrap Boulevard. Look at the definition on those. And as I said before, I don't mind much of the redesign. I think the black tights underneath the white top is actually a pretty nice addition. Now, I don't remember how her skirt looked before, and I don't think she had thigh highs in the original, did she? Oh, actually, maybe she did. I don't remember that very well at all, actually. Actually, I'm gonna go check right now. Let's see. Tifa FF7 PSX. Images? Okay, so I see that, yeah, she didn't have thigh highs. Right, so... see here. let's see. So this is sort of the official art for her from the game. Well, not within the game, but you can see she has bare legs. And it looks like that's the in-game model, bare legs. So in terms of how much her design changed, yeah, the top definitely changed. She's got suspenders now. I don't think she had suspenders in the original. It's a little hard to see in there. But anyway, like I was saying, I do kind of like the redesign. I don't think it's bad. I think I heard that, or I think I read that ice material. Orb of ice material. Oh, Tifa I can add. But I think the equipment in the game is largely the same. How do I... Oh, triangles to chakra. Own HP and cure poison. The healing... Ice materia. Attack the bosses. Okay. Oh shit, what's... Oh, yikes. There. Okay, I don't have... Can I switch to Tifa? I'm a little confused what I'm supposed to do here. The camera doesn't seem to be moving. I don't know what was up with the camera. Do they... Oh my god, that is awful if that's the case. When the... Okay, how do I actually switch the character? I forget how to do that. Oh cool. So it looks like Tifa can heal herself by herself automatically. Let me actually reacquaint myself with the controls. And this is something I was a little worried about. Of playing 3 different action RPGs of very different types, right? Genshin Impact and Devil May Cry and Final Fantasy VII. They are very, very loosely within the same genre of action RPG, but they each has its own incredibly different style, right? So I'm a little worried that it'll be hard to adjust as I go from one to another, but I also don't want to just keep sticking with one game the whole time. At least with Devil May Cry, like I said, I need to have the mental focus and the physical sort of, I don't know, that like physical state of just being energetic and everything in order to actually pull off a lot of these. The switching characters. Oh, up, down, or left, or right. That's how you do it. Okay. Can I switch to... Looks like I can't switch to Tifa just during this area, but while we're fighting, I'm sure I'll be able to. So that would be fun. Also, I do plan on making sure not to let the stream go too long today, like it was the case yesterday. I didn't mean to stream nearly as long as I did, which was 5.5 hours. But Devil May Cry... Do that. Alright, let's see. Press square to execute a normal attack or hold it down. Okay, she's got a charge attack. Alright, let's try it out. So she's got a whirling uppercut, which is a quick single move. And a charge attack. Alright, oh, and it seamlessly switches over to Cloud after the battle. That one I'm not a big fan of. I wish I could just control a particular character in the party as I wish while exploring. I wish I could control Tifa. So yeah, I wonder why they added the thigh highs. Also, her boots, I think her boots are basically the same as the original. The thigh highs, you know, looking at her now, it fits her very well, right? It works really well for her design. I think if it was all bare, the skin would there's a balance that the black thigh highs add to her whole overall look that maybe if it was all skin wouldn't quite work. But I don't know. I think for a character like her, it would make a lot of sense for her not to wear thigh highs, and for that reason I think I would have liked it if it wasn't wearing thigh highs. Use Unbridled Strength to increase your chi level. At level 2 you will execute Omni Strike, and at level 3 Rise and Fall. Okay, stack. So let's see. Does she has... Okay, do we have an enemy? Okay, we got an enemy. Let's see, can I use this ability, Unbridled Strength? So does Unbridled Strength raise her chi, I guess? And with higher chi it activates... Basically more abilities.
正直驚いた。スラムに5年だからね。自分の身は自分で守る。さて、これはスラムの心得なんだ。覚えるのか。ここで開くんでしょ。連携しよう。よし、やっちゃおう。もう一息頑張ろう。
Okay, this guy is there. Let's try using Unbridled Strength again, and let's use a charge attack. Okay, cool.
そろそろモンスターは片付いたかな。どうせすぐ湧いてくる。後ろ向きだな。束の間でもこの町に平和をもたらしました。めでたしめでたしでしょ。
Yeah, I like her positive attitude. That's one of the things that I've always really liked about Tifa.
ビックスたちのところに戻ろう。
We're just gonna go back. This being an RPG, even if it's not a turn-based JRPG, it is a JRPG technically, I guess, but I guess when people say JRPG, this kind of game isn't quite what people are usually thinking of, right? But then again, JRPGs have evolved over time, and it will keep evolving over time, so who knows, maybe 10 years from now, when people say JRPG, people will think of a game that's more in this style than in something like the original Final Fantasy VII. But I'm thinking in JRPGs, it's pretty standard to do a lot of backtracking, explore the same parts of the world over and over again, or maybe not explore, that's not the right term, but go back after you've explored it, maybe? Okay, I think this is the cave we came through. I think we picked up materia here. Or did we go down this path? I'm not sure. Also, yeah, I need to remember to... Oh, this is nice. Actually, R1 in Genshin allows you to sprint, and in Final Fantasy VII Remake it also allows you to sprint. So that's a nice little bit of... I don't know if you'd call it a coincidence. It's not like it's an industry standard, but at the same time, it's probably common enough in the industry for third-person action games of this sort to use R1 as a button for something like sprinting. In Genshin, of course, it's used for dashing and sprinting. In Devil May Cry, R1 is a very important button, but it's not used for dashing or sprinting or anything like that. It's used for targeting. When you hold it down, Dante will target a nearby enemy, and you won't be able to run anymore. But it will open up a lot of moves you can do, both by just holding down R1 and also by holding down R1 and tilting the left analog stick in a certain direction. And in Devil May Cry 1, you had to hold down R1 if you wanted to shoot the guns. You couldn't just shoot the guns by clicking or by pressing the shoot button. You had to actually hold down R1 and then press the shoot button, which Square or X, or it was both actually in the original Devil May Cry 1. In the HD remake, I noticed they changed the controls to match Devil May Cry 3, which I'm happy with because I think overall Devil May Cry 3 had the more intuitive and comfortable button scheme, and it, you know, there's fundamentally very similar games. Well, they're fundamentally similar games, so it makes sense that turning DMC3's controls to DMC1 would work out. Alright, back where we were, right? Yeah.
ちゃんと倒したよ。見渡す限り根こそぎ。
さすがの早技っす。助かったよ。俺らもしっかり宣伝しといたぞ。
そうらしいな。
Yeah. Wait, so he's gonna get some jobs,
仕
right?
事を真面目にこなしていれば評判はどんどん上がっていくよ。
剣の調子どうだ？
ああ、
いい剣だな。
I see that Cloud shaves his armpits just like Auron. I remember Auron had a scene in the Final Fantasy X where you see him, I think, take off his sling off his arm, and you can see he's like got completely clean shaved armpits, which doesn't quite fit his character. Cloud I could believe a little more, but Auron I feel like that's not the kind of person he is. At least from what I remember about Final Fantasy X.
それでも聞きたい。まだ時間あるし、仕事探しがてらどう？
Look at her face. How can you not love that?
ウェッジはダメだ。二人とも行った行った。
また今度ね。
ひどいっす。ちょっとは
Wedge trying to cop block.
幼馴染の久々の再会だろうが。
Third wheel.
仕事を始める前に新しい武器を調達すれば？
必要ない。
武器屋さんもクラウドの評判を聞いてれば歓迎してくれるよ。
行くだけ行ってみよ
Right, so the weapon dealer, is it down the stairs here? Right? Yeah. Here, right? This is the weapon dealer, I think? Or is it here? Yeah. Yeah.
おいあんたどんなモンスターも倒す
Sure, why
早
not?
速評判になってる。
う。だとしたら、
さっきは悪かったよ武器が売れなくて気が立っててな仕事で武器が必要じゃないかと思ってよよかったらそいつを使ってくれよ詫び代わりだ強えやつが使えばうちの宣伝になるよろし
I
くな
mean, are people really gonna be able to recognize one sword from
どうだ
another when he's
他のも
turning
見
it
ていかない
around?
か
見るだけだ。
We got Iron Bangle, Star Bracelet. Not enough gil. Just not enough gil. This one has 2 slots from it. Increases strength by 5%. So, okay, these are weapons, armor, and accessory. I guess the key is to look at the accessory info, and most of these seem to increase something by 5%. Auto life status effect. Okay, it's a one-time. That's essentially like a Phoenix down on auto Phoenix. Could be useful. But maybe I'd like to make Tifa more powerful, so let's try getting her one of these. Actually, no. Let's give it to
また寄ってくれよな
Cloud first. And then give it
新
one
しい
to
武器も
Tifa.
用意したことだし、お仕事始めよ。まずはワイマーさんのところに行ってみない？
誰だ？
自警団に来る依頼をまとめてる人。ほら、何でも屋の仕事が見つかるかも。
どこにいる？
そろそろ詰め所に戻ってきてると思う。
Okay, it's that way. I think a mini-map would be super useful, actually. Is there like that? Give him... So... But... I get higher attack, higher magic attack, less defense, less vitality, but by 1. Less MP as well, but I'd rather go with Iron Blade. Oh, and I can put in more materia as well. So we got Deadly Dodge, Healing, Fire, Lightning, HP up, Max HP. I feel like Max HP isn't going to be all that useful. If I start running into fights where I'm just not able to handle it without more HP, then maybe I'll that, but... Okay, this one needs SP, weapon level 1, and more of SP, I guess. How do you actually get SP? Well, just keep going. Also, yeah, let's look for... Also, oh. Oh. Oh, neat. Because I bought the DLC, I guess I get some Ethereum. I'll admit I don't think it's great that the game, any game does stuff like that. Okay, there is a minimap. Good. Okay, good. Out of battle. I do. No. Press slope angle. Look what that will be. The lock on switch direction in order 10. That's how Devil May Cry works. Okay, I'll go with that because I'll be more accustomed to it. But there is some sort of minimap option. I just don't understand why there isn't one here. It's this way. Oh, there's somebody I can talk to.
やあ、ティファ君。困りがとかい？
いえ、強力な助っ人を紹介したくて。何でも屋のクラウドです。
おお、頼もしいね。町の安全と幸せのため。
Who's that boy next to him? Looks like he's got white hair. He looks like his design is meant to be more than just a extra background character. Is this guy gonna help me get jobs? That's the map and R2 to open quests.
協力者候補を
Oh,
発見、
yeah.
照合データの検索を開始します。体験を背負いながら呼吸を乱さない心肺機能。
Wait, how does he know about Cloud's cardiovascular health? How can you tell?
僕はチャドリー。
Oh, he's
シン
got
ラカンパニー
something,
の科
an
学部門
eyepiece
で
on
学んでい
his
る研修生です。
Chadley.
僕の研究にご協力ください。
So that's Chadley, huh? I don't remember a character named
その
Chadley
見
in
破るマテ
the
リアを装備にセットしてバトルレポートのデータ収集をお願いします。それで新たなマテリアを開発できるのです。
神羅の仕事ならお断りだ。
僕はささやかながら神羅に反抗しようと活動しています。
Okay, just say it openly
理
like
解で
that,
きるは
huh?
ずです。新たなマテリアは神羅に対抗しうる力になると。どうしますか？僕を信じられないなら。
Not a huge fan of the camera angles here in
俺は本当
these
に
cutscenes. They look very basic. There's no real cinematographic flair or artistic, I don't know, vision in them. And I'm not saying they need to be all fancy and shit, but there's so much more that you can do when you're having characters just talk to each other than doing what's called shot reverse shot. The new kinds of materia, intel missions from Battle Intel. So what's the next? Well, it looks like I can still talk to these guys, and maybe they can give me some
ここには毎日いろんな相談が来るんだ。
work.
見破るマテリアを装備にセットしてバトルレポートのデータ収集をお願いします。
The assessment in I have provided them with unique curative abilities. In that case, let me try replacing the lightning materia that I just added with the assessment. Oh, so even with the materia equipped, I still need to use the ability. I was hoping that maybe fighting with the weapon that has the materia equipped will allow me to just automatically pick up info from them. I think that would have been a really elegant solution to this. Instead of the whole menu base, or using the whole menu base. Oh wait, I'd be able to buy some, okay. The prelude. Oh yeah, there's the
上から仕入れた
お、ティファちゃん。
I remember this guy
そい
vaguely.
つ何でもや始めたんだって。ああ。だったら化けネズミどもを倒して。
Doom rats? At first I misread it as doormats. Like, why do you need help, a merc's help with doormats?
信用ガタ落ちだ。あんた、今笑ったな。口の端がピクッとしたぞ。ま、仕事してくれりゃ文句はねえ。化けネズミはウェアラットの悲鳴を聞いて化けネズミのくせに仲間を。
This seems like a pretty standard
化けネズミは町外れに
RPG quest where you have to kill a certain number of certain enemies. Okay, I guess I already bought it. Either that or I can't buy it yet. Oh, okay, there is no mini-map it looks like, but there is a map that I can use by pressing in the touch. Okay, that solves that. R2, L2. Quests. But this is a nice interface for the quest. I like how it has the picture character. Pretty. Alright. Put the map here. That's my home. That's Chadley over there. Lost Friends, that was one of the quests. That's the rat problem. Alright, so why don't we start by heading this way and work our way back up north. Okay, the RPG element, or not RPG, GPS style element, pretty convenient. But I do wish there was a compass, because it's not always obvious which direction is north. So when I'm trying to match up my bearings where I am to the map that I can look at. Don't let avalanche. So clearly we're seeing a case where we have those child designs. They're so good, right? They're like, they look like believably like kids. Good animations overall too, though. So obviously they're not nearly as nice and natural as the main characters. I wonder if they really took the time to make every NPC unique. Maybe there will be a lot of similarities between a lot of NPCs, but that's also realistic, right? In real life, most people tend to look like most other people. Oh, okay, it's this kid, huh? Marlene is the daughter of that Barrett. Wait, why did you need a merc to do this? Unless they're like lost. Oh, cats. Okay, we're supposed to find cats. I don't think that's quite good use of my resources. 3. Yeah, so there. I wonder if the cats are. Oh well, there's a cat. There are 2 cats here. Are there? If we look at this, search the slums for the 3 cats. Oh, the playground looks pretty realistic too. Okay, I'm not. Well, I see 2 cats here, but I don't see any indication on how to call for them. Let's just ignore them for now, and let's head to my apartment so that I can heal up. And then what I'm gonna do is head north. Okay, this way. So yeah, what I'm gonna do next after that is to head north and east so that I can go combat. Going completely wrong. 30 meters? Oh no, that's the kid. The this one's 70 meters, 60 up again. Ay ay ay. Okay, so I should have a fork in front of me. Try heading to the left. This is the left fork, and then I want to kind of swerve to the right. Okay, yeah, that's the apartment. Let's heal up. I think I need healing, right? Yeah, they both need a little bit of healing. Cloud needs a bit more. Okay. It's not. I thought I might have heard Tifa coming in or during the animation when he goes to bed. I wonder if she's in. No, I guess it was the sound of the door closing. Tifa's still out there? Just wait for me while I took a nap? No, I guess not. Is she gone? Where is she? Oh, huh. Yeah, I guess she was just waiting for me while I took a nap. Where does this lead? Like, yeah, that looks like something I can open. Oh, Phoenix Down, sweet. That's very nice. Who am I stealing it from though? This place looks like somebody. Oh, maybe it's not greatly taken care of, but it belongs to somebody, right? That space. So let's see. Now I'm gonna head east and north. So I know that that's kind of in this direction. There's another character that looks like I want to head to. This jukebox. Head there. What? About 50 meters ahead. Looks like I want to head a little to the right and then to the left. Not there? I think it's after. No. Oh, wait, she heard the cat? There's that guy. Sisyphus, I guess. Let's call him Sisyphus. He's just stuck. Can I pick it up? Do I need to chase it? Seems easier so far than chasing cats in Genshin. But alright, can I interact with it? Right. Guess not. Scared. I think I can probably buy a soundtrack thingy there. Right, maybe I need to do certain get past a certain point, something, or get a certain item or ability to allow have the cats. First, it's the Chocobo song. Oh, he just gave it to me for free? Okay, thank you, dude. Hip hop the Chocobo. I wanna go this way. There seems to be a chest or something like that here. Also, I just realized I'm gonna raise the brightness a little bit because it is quite dark. Yeah, so it is normally good to have it at least somewhat dark for the extra contrast, but I do like having it bright enough so that I can see things pretty well. Pretty important. Let's see, we got the map. To orient myself, the map is... It's not easy, or at least I'm not finding it easy. Okay.
いらっしゃい。おや、珍しいお客さんだ。さては買い物じゃないな。あんたが噂の何でも屋だな。ま、あんたならやれそうだな。タラが廃工場の羽トカゲども片付けてほしいんだ。あそこは俺たちの縄張りだ。 うちの常連たちはジャンクパーツのためなら危険を顧みないから心配で。
Drakes.
引き受けよ
Aren't drakes...
ありがとうよ。
What, aren't they a type of bird or something? Are they that troublesome? Or is that a term for a certain type of monster? Yeah, I don't quite understand what the parentheses one mean here. Is it forcing me to buy something? Ether? Oh, maybe it's because I don't have any ether? Or... No, it's not forcing me to buy some.
自警団のナルジンに聞いてくれ。行くなら偽も見てけよ。
Oh, is it because he said don't forget to stock up? Am I basically required to buy something? A potion and an ether, not bad things to have. Alright, nuisance at the factory. Ah, rat problem. Let's take care of the rats while we're... Alright, so I'm gonna point Cloud in that direction. That is south, which means I want to go to the right. That's where I came from, but actually, is there any path over here? Looks like selling stuff. Can I buy any of them?
おい、このシミは血の跡か。
Doesn't seem like a great place to sell stuff. Like, how much foot traffic are you getting? And again, it could get a decent amount. Get path from one. Okay, are these the rats?
終わりだ。
頑張るね。
Okay.
止めた。
The circle rolls. Okay, that's good to know.
じゃあね。
Alright.
化けネズミはすぐには来ないな。
どうしよう。待つ？あ、
Those aren't
そうだ。
doom rats.
アイテム屋さんに途中経過を報告しようよ。
Three grenades. What are grenades doing there? Jesus, that's really dangerous. Can you imagine if they accidentally exploded? Part of this building would be, yeah, chunked off. It's so easily accessible by kids too. Alright, so that was the Doomred area, I guess. This. Head back to town. Kill time. Does that mean shop? Yeah. Let's box. Other shop. Oh, this is nice. Being able to do this to R1 and L1 to quickly move from port problem lost. So the rat problem. Head back to town. I just need to head back to town. Talk to watch member Narjan by the abandoned factory. Where is the abandoned factory? Oh, to the east. So I guess I need to go straight and take a left. Diagonal left, keep going, and then after a little bit, take a sharper left. Go. Slight diagonal left. I think I should go under those... What are those things called? Structures? Whatever they are? Yeah. And then... Oh, wait, there's another cat here. In terms of... Yeah, it looks very similar to the cat from earlier. Running away? Okay. Yeah, I wonder if I were to go this way, I could track down the cat. But... Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I was wondering if that guy was carrying a cat, but I guess it's a sack of something. Guessing sack of certain. The designs on these cars, I kind of like it. Why? It looks retro.
この先の廃墟
無理だぞ。
Alright, is this the guy?
封鎖中だ。羽トカゲがうろついている。
Rex.
ってあれ？ティファちゃんか？そういうことなら大歓迎。
Okay, we
羽ト
didn't
カゲ
even
は
answer
奥の
you.
倉庫にいる。全部倒してくれよな。
Two groups, at least two groups of rakes. Okay, we got some music change. Thought over here it looked like there might have been something, but I guess not. I'm also noticing in Final Fantasy VII Remake right now that because they want to make the controls and the animation synced up, there's definitely a bit of, I don't know, looseness with the movements, because Cloud can't turn on a dime, and as far as I can tell, neither can Tifa. If you want to stop. So that's not too bad actually, but then if you want to kind of turn, there seems to be a radius that you have to deal with, and as well as having Cloud finish his animation. The ability. This. Forgers. Okay, so these guys are all the same. Yeah, I do want to play more Tifa because Cloud's the only guy I've been playing up to basically from now. But at the same time, I think Cloud's combat is actually very fun, so I'll just at any given moment quickly choose one or the other. Doesn't matter too much. It looks like it's something below me? Or above. I'm not sure exactly how the map works. Given it's a factory, I would have expected above rather than below, but it could also be a factory where there's stuff in the basement. Oh wait, what? What's the best way to attack these guys? Oh, can I jump? The ability, assess, forger, and... Yeah, actually, I think those were the same weapon. Nice not having to press square to pick items up after a battle. Have them all just transferred to your inventory. As I've said before, I know why MiHoYo does it that way, where you have to pick it up, because the more you make the player work for getting items, the more invested they become within the game and within the items in the game and everything. The more invested they become, the more likely they'll stick around, and the more likely they'll spend a lot of money on new characters, new banners, and stuff like that. But sadly, that means the game design in terms of fun isn't always quite there. That's an actual Drake, huh? Airborne lizards. Wind attacks. Magic attacks. Oh, okay. Oh, right. That's what I need to do then. Let's see. Oh, shit. Oh, whoa. I don't quite get where that attack came from. What's hitting me? Okay. So in terms of hitting enemies that are above me, I guess that's something I can do just automatically. As long as I'm kind of close to them and behind and below them, and if I press square, then yeah, it just ends up going up and actually attacking them that way. So I need to be able to avoid their attack a little better. Okay. Like R1 is the one to block, right? Oh, so you can roll by pressing circle while holding it. I think you can roll while pressing circle without holding it too, actually.
この隙に
What happens if I use fire on this guy? What was that? I don't... I really don't understand where some of these attacks are coming from. I guess one thing is the enemies can attack you from off screen, huh? That's something to be cognizant of. Oh, nice. No, not yet. Let's try to finish cleaning up here. Yeah. I believe in the supremacy of her abs, at least. But, like I said, I don't know who's better, Aerith or Tifa. I think they're both great. I just know that they're both better than Yuffie. It's not like I dislike Yuffie that much. I'll be honest, she's not that bad, but she's kind of bad. And she is quite cute. But since I'm picking things up right where I left in terms of... This is the first time I'm actually able to control Tifa. I thought I'd do that. Let's see. Okay, with Tifa though, I'm trying to get a sense of how best to use her. And maybe let's use a spell Blizzard on this guy. And then if I use another ability, Unbridled Strength, that'll make her stronger, right? And if she can hit harder... Look at Tifa, you're never disappointed. Yeah, I guess I'll give her that. She's got great design. And earlier I was kind of comparing her remake design to the OG. And I noticed that she does not wear thigh highs in the original. She actually has bare legs, which I didn't remember. I thought she had bare legs in the original, and I thought the thigh highs were new, but I wasn't quite sure. There we go. Cloud's got framed just right. And yeah, I do think she would have looked kind of ridiculous if they stuck with the original boob size. So it makes sense. It works. No, great cameraman. Yeah. Heck, I think I would make a great cameraman. Just for certain types of films, you know? It really depends on the type of film. Let's see. There's another group in here somewhere. Maybe I should go up there, yeah. Let's see it. Is it this way? Yeah. Let's go left here. Oh, I guess not. Oh, target located. Where? Oh, whoa. Lesser Drake. I think I've already scanned this guy. Yeah, they already gave me a little thing that said we have everything enough for Chadley. Let's cure Tifa because she's almost dead. And let's switch to Tifa actually because I do want to use her a bunch. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I love her melee attacks. Those are definitely a lot of fun. So now, if I use Blizzard, yeah, nice. That knocks it out of the air, I think. Let's use the abilities Unbridled Strength. Oh, I should try using the other abilities too. The dive kick, for instance. Ooh. I guess maybe I should try to approach this more like a JRPG. I got that. In terms of the combat, like, instead of worrying so much about rolling out of the way and identifying enemy attacks, just try to play it a little more safely, maybe.
羽トカゲ片付けてくれたってありがとう見たところあんたは何でもやとして悪くない才能スラムのガラクタを長年見極めてきた俺の見立ては間違いってことでやばいモンスターが飛んできたってさそういうの
More drakes to kill, I guess,
まず
maybe?
己を知りその道を極めよう
Yeah, if you're good at it, don't do it for free.
じゃあ頑張れよ何でもやうちの商品は折々で変わるから勉強がてら覗いて
Right, sure. Go.
うまくいったね。何でもやきっと当たるよ。
So Tifa has very nice expressions, both the body language and her facial expressions. I think they really got that right in the original movie, Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. There was certainly a way that she moves her body, her upper body and her head, that's kind of playful and friendly. And I think they kept that very consistent between Advent Children and this game so far from what I've looked at. So this, I believe, is the rat problem, and I want to head back. This, Chadley's report, yeah. I remember I was watching a bit of a playthrough of this game by a streamer. Well, I don't know if it's correct to call her a streamer. She streams, and I think she's a partner. At least she gets a lot of viewers, at least in the dozens, if not over 100. But she's mainly a cosplayer, I know that. But her name is Peach Milky, and she was playing it. And when we ran into Chadley, she said something like how Chadley is probably the previous evolution of Chad. Like in a Pokemon sense. A Chadley evolves into becoming a Chad, which I thought was pretty funny. Especially since the way Chadley's character is designed, looks basically the opposite of a Chad, you know? But, well, I guess that's why he's gonna evolve into a Chad. New trailer of Horizon Forbidden West. It was impressive. Oh, nice. They released it today, I guess? Because I recall you were talking about it yesterday. But that's the name of the game, Horizon Forbidden West. Huh. Graveyard. I don't remember getting this. Let's just head there. Yeah, 2 hours ago. Oh wow, nice. That's very recent. Yeah, great game trailer. You know, I do miss kinda just the excitement you can get from a great trailer for something that you know, some work that you'd be really interested in. Right. Because earlier today I was watching some streams of people playing Devil May Cry. Oh. But Devil May Cry 3. What? Who is this guy? I don't recognize him. 15 minutes of gameplay. Oh, nice. Wait, is he Rude? No, his name's Johnny. I was thinking, doesn't Rude have red hair? No, no, no. Rude is the black guy, right? His friend has red hair. Blasting agent.
ジョニーは職務質問されて、ほら、ああいう性格だから。
マコールの爆発絡みだろ。ジョニーのやつ、いつもみたいにボコられて、釈放ってわけにはいかないかもな。
ジョニーを助けなくちゃ。
We gotta save him.
違う。ジョニーは私たちがアバランチだと薄々気づいていて。
Oh, he might know a little too much.
そして口が軽いの。
Alright, thanks for the link.
なんとかして。
Oh, he's a talker. Oh, okay, so we need to shut him up somehow.
俺も行く。
でも
今日は世話になったからな。礼だ。
ありがとう。行こう。あいつすぐふざけるから。
He's in a hurry. But something, the way they've... Because I kind of barely remember the starting area of the original game. And it definitely has this aesthetic. Of course, everything in the background was pre-rendered. But this isn't exactly what I would have thought that it looked like. It's not a bad depiction at all. I like the music in this. But yeah, I was watching some Devil May Cry 3 streams, and it inspired me to rewatch some of the trailers that had come out way back in 2005? 2004? I think it was 2005. During E3 2005, and then Tokyo Game Show 2005 in September. Just how incredible those trailers were, and... Oh, I'm supposed to go here.
火薬を盗んでおいてよく言うな。倉庫の入場記録にお前の ID が刻まれてるんだ。おい、なんかの間違いだ。
神羅の倉庫なんて近づいてもいない。まさかジェシー。
Jesse. Oh.
ID は引っ掛けだ。お前の ID で神羅の施設に入れるわけないだろ。
Okay, so he suspected Jesse, but it wasn't her.
大変。ジョニーの口が滑っちゃう。
But then they know a name of Jesse that's a lead that they can
クラウド
follow.
は兵士の気を引いて。あとは私が何とかする。
Yeah. But looking at those trailers, I was just, reminded of how incredible they were, even though at the time I'd never played a single Devil May Cry game. I'd heard of Devil May Cry 1 and 2. I didn't really know anything about them other than Dante. But seeing those trailers got me so hyped up. And I can only imagine what the hype would have been like for somebody who was a fan of the original Devil May Cry. And who, saw just how terrible DMC2 was. And seeing how... Ooh, nice. That's a good shot. How good DMC 3 looked in the trailer. And how different it looked from DMC2. Alright, let's see. Oh, shit. So I need to learn to block better, I think. Okay, also I need to use Punisher mode. Oh, shit! Guess I can't use any abilities. Huh. Guard against the dog jumping at me. Am I just supposed to roll out of the way when it does that? Guess I need to keep watching over it. Please. Oh, what if I assess the elite security officer? What do I get? Blocking their melee attacks makes them easier to interrupt. Okay, that's good. Oh, they can heal themselves, huh? Okay, good. Let's try assessing the dog. Press public security division. Magic attacks. Oh, that's good to know. Well, let's heal first, well, no, I don't need to heal. Let's use fire on the guard dog. Nice. There we go. Although I would have liked... Yeah. Those guards who have... Hi, Tifa. I'm more jealous of Cloud. He's the one who gets hit on by Tifa. He's the one who gets to hang out with her all the time. See her up close. Yeah, he won't talk if you kill him. Not gonna make it very far like that. I don't remember if Tifa had earrings in the original. I remember in Advent Children either. But in Advent Children also, Tifa had a slightly different design in terms of her costume. It was actually quite different. She wore black leather? It was almost like a dress. Her skirt was definitely longer. And I think she didn't have thigh highs either. But they kept the body language and the facial emotion, like the way she emotes and everything, pretty much the same, which makes sense because it's the same person. Please hit me. Energy drink potion. Cool.
クラウド、やっぱり変わったね。
どこが？
例えば、その目。前はもっと。
ソルジャーだからな。魔法の目だ。
Mako. I was never sure if it was pronounced Mako or Mako. Maybe they pronounced it right in the Advent Children movie, but I don't remember. We go now. Oh wait, not the... This... Just fluent. Yeah, that's where I'm still go, right? Yeah, or that's where I was trying to go when that one quest interrupted me. Yeah, let's just keep going that way. I should keep going down that path and just hug the left wall, and I should get there pretty quickly. I wonder what the point of these doors are. Do they hide loading screens, maybe? It just seems odd that they have an entire thing where you have to trigger the door opening instead of just having it always open. Or just have it automatically open. Oh, that's Johnny's mother. Yeah, I'm a little skeptical of how well he can survive on his own. Especially considering he was blindfolded and had his hands tied behind his back the last time I saw him. Not a good situation to be in, especially since he had been just arrested by public security, so they're probably looking for him, right? So what's going on here? When? I don't remember. No Jolter? Oh, I'm sorry. Man. That is... yeah, that's rough. At this point, it's like... when's it gonna end, right? Was to kill Drakes? More Drakes, I guess? Ah, it just sucks that FGO doesn't have pity, huh? We just don't know when the hell will end. At least with Genshin, you know. I guess it does seem like the next banners in Genshin from all the rumors, and we'll know within the next, what, 15 hours? 20? But it looks like the next banners are most likely going to be Clay and Kazuha, right? Ruli and Drake in the abandoned factory. Watch security keys needed to get inside a wooden crate near the building. Okay. Genshin stream in 11 hours. Oh, yeah, the Chinese one is in just 11 hours, huh? I didn't know it was that soon. I wasn't quite sure what time it was, but I knew it was like 6 a.m. in the morning, something like that range. Graveyard. Scrap Boulevard. Abandoned factory. Okay, so I need to go right, and then a left, and then hug the right wall. Yeah. Do that. Yeah, I imagine tomorrow when I wake up, there will be a lot of news that's already available because of the fact... oh, shit, I went the wrong... okay, I need to turn around, and then, as soon as I can, take a left. So yeah, I imagine there will be a lot of information that's already available online, which I'll probably check out before I watch the stream. Can I just go in here? Yeah, I was here earlier doing... well, taking care of Drakes, and they respawn? Guess not. So I should go take a right, another right, and then another right. That should get me to some building, it looks like. Room? I heard, or I think somebody on Twitter I noticed said that they believe that it's likely that... oh wow, he can really cover a lot of distance with that. They believed that Inazuma was basically... that they're pretty sure Inazuma is going to come in 1.7 because there are new islands that are going to be unlocked in 1.6, which will go away after 1.6 is over, but those new islands are the only places where you can actually farm Kazuha's materials. So, unless they unlock a new area after that, if you get Kazuha, you'll just be stuck unless you max him out. While during the 6 weeks that 1.6 is up. What's live on Twitch with the streamer? Oh yeah? Oh, speaks fluent Chinese. Nice. That's convenient. And yeah, for you, I guess the timing works out a little better, right? Because you're in France, so you're 7 or 8 hours ahead, something like that, which means while it's like 6 a.m. for me, it's more like noon for you, which is not a bad time to watch. Alright, so it looks like I need to go here. And maybe... Is it that I need a key for this door, perhaps? Or maybe I need to go in there a different route. Yeah. So I should go back, go straight into this room. No. I should go back, take a left, go this way. Try that. Be preparing dinner at the same time? Oh, yeah? So, wait, by dinner... Sorry, do you mean... the lunch, maybe? Because I think in France, do you guys call it dinner when you when you eat food at noontime? Oh, for the US stream, I see. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yep. US stream, I believe, again, is at 11 a.m. my time? Something, either 11 a.m. or noon. Something like that. Which would mean, yeah. Ooh, shit. Okay. Is there any way that I can actually... Oh, I guess I need... No, I don't know how to actually stop that attack. I need to get better at using Punisher mode. Like, quickly converting or switching over to Punisher mode. And after doing a roll, say, so that I can do more damage. Okay, so I need to go straight. Switch a character with Tifa and attack the... Oh! Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Right, this is a team game in a way. Hey, it is very interesting, actually, thinking about it. Just the 3 different action RPGs that I'm playing. Devil May Cry 3, Genshin Impact, and this game, of course. Just how different they are. And even in just a basic kind of teamwork setup. Because with Genshin, it's essentially as if you only have one character. Oh, did we kill everyone? Yeah, it's essentially as if we only have one character, and we just... That character just keeps swapping back and forth between multiple, well, actual characters. But in Final Fantasy, you have multiple characters, and they're all on the field at once, right? And that probably creates a... It creates certain abilities that you can do in gameplay that are different. Genshin Impact. And Devil May Cry, all those games, of course, are all completely single player. Oh, this is one of those that you have to hold down the button to open it. I hate it when games do it like that. Just let me press the fucking button and have the animation play out. Final Fantasy Impact. Yeah. I locked up tight. Right. Yeah. Like, imagine if this game had gacha. That would suck. 0.3% drop rate to get Tifa. Also, you need to pay 30 Genesis crystals to get her Advent Children outfit or whatever. Okay, so if I want to go in there, maybe I need to search the area for the key. She did say the key... Actually, maybe I need to go outside of the area. A watch security key is needed to get inside, but one should be hidden inside a wooden crate near the building. Oh yeah, official... Yeah, I noticed a lot of nice official art. As well as, I think, official art. Official art, right? Of her... Of like a comic, I think? Oh wait, these guys do respawn, huh? Okay, if I want to get them falling off, I guess I need to... Okay, let's switch to Punisher mode. Oh shit, so let's try doing that. Wait, that's not what I meant to press. Bells. Wizard. Oh, try it on this guy. Okay, and whirling uppercut, nice. But yeah, I thought I saw some official comic with Fischl, which I thought was really cute. But Fischl's a really great character for making cute art, I feel like. He just has that kind of cartoony, fun characteristic that lends itself well to the when you depict her very cutely, it works really well. From Genshin Twitter? Yeah, I think that was the one from Genshin official Twitter. Oh, nice. That's where the key was. Great. Fire material. Oh, I think I have one. I have another one. This area. I find myself just instinctively using some of Genshin's controls, like in the map, pressing R2 and L2 to zoom in. But it seems like you need to use the right analog stick to zoom in rather than that, so I'll just have to keep that in mind. Looks like I can get to it on my way out of the factory, that chest. Actually, oh, can I sit? Do they only sell potion? Oh, they sell a bunch of healing items. I don't need any of them right now. What happens? Oh, and you can sell at these vending machines too. What a fancy vending machine. Can't have Tifa sit next to me? Oh, does this heal me? What? I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm okay with beds and the hotel rooms and such healing and recovering everything, but a bench? That feels a little odd. Like, sure, you might get a bit of a breather. Oh, you know what would work? If they made it so that the bench only fully revives your MP. Because effectively it's the same thing. Because if you have Cure, then essentially at that point, if you can recover MP, then you can recover HP. But make it kind of a halfway between beds and nothing, right? One character most... Yeah, she is still very powerful, isn't she? I feel like her playstyle has not evolved really in this time, but that's because she's just always been very, very good. You know, as a support, and I think as a DPS I heard she's also very capable, but maybe she doesn't get as much attention as someone like Ganyu, because Ganyu puts up huge numbers at once. Fischl puts up lots of numbers very quickly, and I feel like that's sort of her specialty. I think she has the fastest auto attacks out of any bow user. Right, how do I... Oh, okay, no, yeah, so it's actually quite easy to attack these guys when they're in the air, huh? Now, attacking them without getting hit is a different question. But now let's use a spell. Maybe knock him out of the air? Yeah? Okay. Blizzard didn't really seem to do it. So let's use the ability Unbridled Strength. Oh, actually, let's try this. Bench his head on... Yeah. Full heal instantly, yeah. That would do it. Them with spells and oh, wind spells. Icy winds. Okay, so I don't want to use Blizzard on these guys, huh? Okay. The fire would actually be very good on them, huh? Okay, I see. Alright. Let's use the fire on him again. Okay, it's pressured. I'll take that. Let's switch to Punisher mode and do some more damage. Here, let's do... Okay, let's take a look at the abilities. Triple Slash? Triple Slash seems like it's a pretty useful attack from the last time I used it. Ooh. Okay, it's Let's try paying a little better attention at the enemy, just to see its attack animations. Because getting hit like this, obviously not a good thing. Ooh, nice. Killed it. Level 12, 5 SP gained. Let's not return quite yet, because I want to head out and pick up something on the way there. Wait, can I? Okay, good. I was a little worried that they might have used that as a gate that prevents me from going back. Now, if I want to go back, I'm gonna go right, left. Way is fastest, I think. And also, this game doesn't have a jump button as far as I can tell, which makes it very different from Genshin Impact and Devil May Cry. So yeah, all three, very different types of games, despite kinda loosely sharing the same genre. And the pacing of all of those games is very different as well, huh? Okay. Spell, use fire. Does that knock it out of the... Oh shit. Oh. I guess that already killed it. Let's try using the dive kick. I feel like the dive kick might be... Oh, nice. That is sweet. I think that might have been an attack that she used in Advent Children. I'm not sure. But it looks very similar to the Killer Bee attack that Dante uses, as does Virgil, where they jump in the air and kick down towards an enemy. And Tifa, much like those guys, seem to be able to generate momentum just out of thin air, literally, when she's flying in the air. Because normally when you jump, you can't really control the direction you're moving afterwards. You just jump, and you're kind of stuck. But Tifa, as well as Dante and Virgil, and also a lot of, actually every character in Genshin Impact, seem to be able to stop themselves on a dime in the middle of the air and change direction. Impressive stuff. But I guess that's what, you know, incredible martial arts training in the case of Tifa, or having demonic blood, will do for you. So, again, gotta say, I like the designs of these cars. Like, I wouldn't want to ride one, but I like that they have cars like this in this universe, that they decided to put cars like this in this game.
おかえりなさい。見事倒せたみたいだね。さすがは噂の何でもや。威張るだけで何もしない兵士とは大違い。警備も変わってもらいたいぐらい。
兵士は職業だ。勝手には動けない。
人としてどうなのって話でしょ。
命令に忠実なやつも必要だ。
やっぱりね。
That's fair.
元シンナって聞いてるよ。なるほど。あんたと話しても無駄か。私はこの町が好き。ただそれだけ。
Yeah, I'm really not happy with how these cutscenes are shot. It almost feels like she's not even talking to Cloud, right? If you didn't know, then you couldn't tell from when she's talking to Cloud that who she's talking to. Like, I guess it's... I'm thinking of how Genshin Impact... Of course, Genshin Impact has plenty of dialogue sequences that are, you know, not very well produced in terms of cutscene quality. But the ones that actually do have voice acting and everything, they do a great job with the camera, I feel like. Appear before... Head back to town to kill time. Okay, the cats kept running away. Let's go back to Chadley. Maybe he's become a Chad already. Man, that'd be funny though if in part 2 he starts hitting on Tifa or something. I'd like to see that. Although actually I could see him more with Yuffie maybe? But Yuffie... I guess actually there will be... Yuffie will be around soon, right? Because you got the side story coming up. Is where Chad... Yeah, there's Chad.
クラウドさん、見事データ提出一番乗りでした。追加報酬も差し上げます。新しく生まれたマテリアを早速発売しました。
Okay, so I still need to pay you? Oh, reset a weapon. Oh. Right. I got some SP on my weapon, so I can use it to upgrade, but I don't know what it'd be. Wait. Oh, this way I can have assess on multiple of my parties. That might be useful. Well, actually, how often am I going to be using assess anyway? Right? Because you only need to use it for once for each enemy, so maybe it's not worth buying it yet. I'll hold off on buying one for now. Ooh, that seems very useful for a character who
今後もマテリアを続々と開発していきます。共に神羅に対抗する力を生み出していきましょう。新たなバトルレポートを随時追加していますから、これからもご協力をお願いします。
Good. Actually, look at the equipment now. Cloud's Iron Blade has 20 SP. Upgrade it. Is there a separate thing menu for upgrading? Oh, upgrade weapons. This is one thing about the menu and UI that I don't quite get. That why can't I just go from here to Cloud to Iron Blade, and then there should be some menu option where I can just say, oh, can I upgrade the weapon? That's something that FGO, for instance, it took them at least 6 months, maybe a year before they got that right, but they did get it right. You need my opinion? Oh. Mona, Lisa, Jean, 4th character. Okay. So for that, who would you be using as the main DPS, right? I'm thinking Lisa, I mean, Mona, Lisa, and Jean, they can all DPS, right? Jean is generally thought of as a healer slash DPS. Lisa and Mona are offensive supports, right? So Lisa, huh? So for buffing Lisa's attacks, right? Electro, you got Mona, I think, which is good. Maybe you'd like another Electro so you can get Lisa's Q up very often, as well as, you know, everyone else's Q. Because Mona's Q is very big for doing a lot of burst damage. So setting up big damage from Lisa with Mona might be a good setup. But I'm also thinking of the swirls, right? Because you got Mona and you got Jean, which means you have access to vaporize? Yeah, you have access to vaporize. So you might. But then again, if you want to use Lisa, right? Maybe you want to go all in on making Lisa strong. So someone like Fischl, right? Could work as a support. But as somebody who hasn't really used Lisa, I guess I don't, or haven't used her in a while, I'm not quite sure who would be. Oh wait, what? The best support for her. Okay, yeah, this is sort of the sphere grid system where you can choose how to upgrade. Not gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan of the interface there. Great settings. Just prioritize attack. I'd rather do that. And I can always reset it if need be. Bonus Q then Lisa's burst and charge E to do a lot of damage. Yeah. So again, not having direct experience, but from what I heard, that seems like a pretty good way to use Lisa, yeah. Say, so Fischl obviously for Electro, but if you want to, I guess if you can, that 4th slot can be kind of flexible, right? If you want to make Lisa pop with a lot of damage, probably someone like Fischl or Beto with counters, right? Might help. Because Beto's also pretty mediocre in terms of her ER, or in terms of the amount of energy you need in order for her burst to be charged. It's quite a lot, so having double Electro with Lisa and Beto would allow them to have their Qs up fairly often. But as somebody who hasn't played that much with double Electro, I'm not quite sure if that's what you'd want. Sucrose, so double Animo, eh? So that's another setup that I haven't really used. But I guess, what, it makes you faster, right? And as well as something else. I know it offers more than just making you faster. But Sucrose, I guess the thing is, with Sucrose, you're using a lot of elemental mastery. Or, the thing with Sucrose is that she gives elemental mastery, but when you have water and electro, I guess the EM still helps. Ooh, cocktail. Sure, I'll take it.
私もちょっと疲れちゃったねえミッドガルにはずっと
そうだなこの辺りで仕事して金を貯める
そっか
Oh yeah, EM buff for Electro. That's a good point. So that could work. But yeah, it might back out into... Or why not?
そうするか
Yeah, there you go, Cloud. Yeah, we're thinking the exact same thing. Oh wait, head back into town means head opposite. For some reason I thought it meant go into this bar. Okay, but yeah, I guess it will be hard to figure out exactly what best to do until they actually release the buff and we know what it does. When Lisa bursts to AoE damage, so it could be very powerful indeed. Another thing I'm thinking is you might want to put a shielder in there, because Lisa is very static character from what I understand. She's standing still a lot when she's attacking, so that could leave her vulnerable to attack. And so having a shielder of a sort, but I'm not sure who that shielder you'd want. Obviously Zhongli was the best shielder, but do you want to use Zhongli in that team? Because I don't know how much else he adds. Oh, it'll be a waifu only team. Okay, that adds another thing, right? And like Noelle, right? Noelle also provides shields, but does she add a lot to your team besides that shield? As well as healing, but Jean can heal just fine. Diona, I'm not sure if she adds that much to that team either. I guess with Diona you can freeze while also shielding. But yeah, I don't know. Those all seem to work all right. Yeah, I mean, do you have any characters you were thinking about as like a good choice? I feel like I've named most of the obvious ones. But... Ooh, this guy's good. Oh no, that's just the code for... Oh, that is a dumb code. If your bar is named 7th Heaven, you should not make your password 777777. Lisa, Mona, and Jean have a lot of charm too. Yeah, I mean, yeah. They have a lot of thighs, that's for sure. Something... Go hard. Alright. Oh, nice! We're actually gonna be able to see her bartending! Yes! Right, because I can't remember ever seeing her actually serve a drink. Not in the original game, and not in the remake, where she wasn't a not remake, the Advent Children, where she wasn't a bartender anymore, as far as I know. Yeah, Sucrose if the aim buff is great, and Zhongli is always good. Yeah, indeed. Because with Zhongli you also get that 20% buff just from the shield, right? Along with, you know, everything else he gives you. Osmo Candy. I wonder if there's a real drink that they invented based on this. I have to check it out. Like you. Come on, Cloud, you gotta say that. Come on, Cloud. You've missed that perfect opportunity right there. You got that Osana Najimi right in front of you with the big booba who's clearly flirting with you. Gotta take that step, dude. Oh. I really like that shot, that lingering shot of him looking at the glass. Speaking of flirty, we got Jessie, who's even more so. Yeah, Cloud is, but I think that's pretty common among Final Fantasy protagonists.
ティファが行くことになってるんだけど、あの人思想が揺れてるっていうか、爆弾
Not a big fan of Jesse's booba armor, actually. I feel like it belongs in a different
こ
era.
っちも命を預けるわけだから、それならあんたみたいな有能な人の方がいいもの。
Like, it would fit if this was more of a medieval fantasy setting, but with the cyberpunk fantasy setting here, her booba armor, I feel like they could have made a boob armor that is more fitting to the setting, but that one to me doesn't. Yeah, she is very cute. I also like her red headband. I like headbands. It's not like, I can't say I have a particular thing for them, I guess, but oh yeah, I guess what I have a thing for is practical costume design that also looks good. And I think someone like Tifa, right? She wears tights under her shirt, and that's practical because of, well, she needs tights like that or else her boobs are going to just fall off or fly off while she fights. And they look damn good, right? And same goes for bike short tights that I think she might wear. I know if she doesn't wear it, I know certainly Rinoa from Final Fantasy VIII does. And those, again, very practical for somebody who's doing a lot of combat. And also very comfortable and very, very sexy, very good. And so that's a great combination. And I think headbands, I wouldn't call them sexy, but I think they look very nice and are very practical for what these characters need to do. Oh, Amber! I didn't even think about that. I mean, I've played a lot with Amber because I liked her a lot. I like her personality. I like her design in terms of, I guess her design's pretty basic. That's the one thing I really don't like about it. It's pretty basic, but she is the very first character you pick up, right? But another reason I played with her a lot, I guess, is because she got so little love, and I felt like it would be nice, okay, to reward her with some love. Oh, shit. So I use this to aim. So I probably... Oh, okay, so I need to time this with the... Nice. Oh, okay, that's how you do it. And oh, are we playing cricket? I think that's the name of the game where you get lower as you. Oh, I got a 111. Wow, that's so great. 111. Let's see. So I believe in cricket you need to 18. You need to get your points all the way down to 0 and. Okay, let's stop aiming for that 20, I guess. And in order to win, you need to hit 0 with a double, I believe. Oh, okay, so I was kind of wondering about the scores. They must be tracking how many rounds you needed in order to zero out your points. Yeah, IRL, I used to be very good, actually, at one point. When I was at... Oh, nice. When I was in high school, I actually had a dartboard in my bedroom, so I used to just play it all the time, and I got really good at it. But that was a long, long time ago, because that was like, I was in 10th grade, I was probably like 15, something like that, 16? But I haven't played darts in a very long time, so yeah, now I'm not pretty sure I'd be pretty terrible if I tried to play right now. The right, down to 100. Okay, so I believe if I want to win, I need to end on a double. So let's try to hit the even numbers. Is there an area where there's a lot of even numbers that to target? Ooh, nice, 888. Now, if I'm still not at an area where I can. Wait, what? Oh! Oh, does it not matter if I use... It's not cricket! You can end it with a triple, not just a double. Okay, with cricket you have to end with a double. Triple doesn't count. Oh, it's the darts, not the rounds. Okay, I was like, oh, I did it in so few rounds, I did so well! And I was... But then, yeah, it's darts, not... I got 3 darts per round. Yeah, I just did that badly. Who's this Narjan? Let's try to beat Narjan next time. Then the bars reopen. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like bars are probably gonna reopen here within the next 2 weeks. I believe they were talking about in the news that we're not gonna have limitations for capacity and stuff after something like June 9th or something like that, which is, you know, that's soon. And that'll be sweet. Actually, for you, you might be able to go to a bar for your birthday, because your birthday's mid-June. I mean, it's yeah. So that'll be nice if you can make that happen. I hope it works out. That'll be great. Let's see. So I thought maybe I should go here, but yeah, let's hope. Let's hope. Wait, what? These are failed because I moved on? Aw, I assumed that... Alright. Alright. I assumed that just moving on to the next part, I could come back and... Pretty annoyed. And there's, yeah, I did not save, so I can't really go back. Alright. Well, I'm guessing those side missions weren't really that important, but maybe I just didn't pay proper attention to some of the dialogue lines or something, but I did not realize that I would be stuck, or not stuck, but unable to complete those missions. Am I supposed to activate this somehow to play your favorite too? Ooh, obtain Tifa's theme. Play Tifa's theme. I think it's pretty... Yeah, you also thought that too? Yeah. I'm guessing many people did, actually. Again, unless there's some really obvious, like... Oh, I have to come back and sit here? Oh, okay, I'm supposed to wait for her. Yeah, unless there's some really obvious, like, notice or dialogue option that I just missed. I feel like this kind of came out of nowhere. But again, I'm guessing the side quests there aren't that important. I do wish they... And I don't remember if her hair was quite that long, but I feel like in the original her hair went all the way down to her butt, and even beyond, maybe. Now, it does make sense that they needed... You know, they had to tone down a lot of aspects of her design. But I kind of liked just how long they were. Oh, nice shot. Yeah, you shouldn't join a terrorist group if you feel like you can't quite support everything they're doing. It's a big decision, Tifa. I'll be there for you. Here's Jesse. I wonder what the official stats are for these characters, if they have one, for their height and weight. Because one thing I've noticed with Japanese, like, anime characters and stuff, they tend to give the female characters incredibly low weights. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, almost all female servants weigh less than 50 kilograms, which is very little. Nice, I got a little extra. Although I just went from like 800 gil, I almost said Mora, 800 gil to 2.5 thousand gil just in an afternoon, so I'm thinking like 1,000 gil is not all that much. I guess the red headband is... Yeah, that must be a a semi-uniform.
会の後でゆっくり話したいな。
Because Wedge and Biggs both also have red headpieces.
じゃあ後で。ごめん、お待たせ。
Thirsty voice, right? Oh, that is very usable. That little clip. I'm sure people. Oh, nice.
ビッグス早すぎ。また今度ゆっくり話そう。ごめん。それから？
無茶すんな。大一番が控えてんだぞ。
だからこそっすよね。ああ、余計なことを忘れて集中できるぞ。
こういうの久しぶりだね。
本家から追い出されてみんなでやけ食いした時以来っす。
追い出されてない。
独立な。独立。
Amicable separation.
思い出すと腹立つ。
Yeah, that's how an amicable separation. That's how my relationship with my girlfriend ended. She didn't dump me. It was an amicable separation. That's what I like to call it. I didn't get fired. It was an amicable separation between me and my boss. We just didn't agree.
仲間だけだな。
あの頃よりみんな頼もしくなったよな。俺は腹が頼もしくなったっす。
ティファのおかげだね。
仲間の成長か。腹が。
もちろんお腹。
I really like this little scene. The fact that I can just kind of sit and watch these folks talking. I wish I could sit at any one of these schools though. That seems like a big oversight, not allowing me to sit on any of these stools. There seems to be only one stool that I'm supposed to sit, and only at certain times.
契約が終わってせいせいしただろう。
クラウドがいると頼りすぎちゃうかなって。
誘いたいけど残念っす。いざって時に踏ん張れるかどうかはやっぱ思想次第だからな。
Yes, it did occur to me that... Oh, okay, so I guess it makes sense that they trust Cloud, because Cloud is a childhood friend of Tifa's, so there's a bit of a relationship, and so far he's come through for them. He's done the job that he was paid to do. And so at this point, yeah, they don't really... Like, I'm thinking of how Johnny, they were so quick to shut up and shut down, but Cloud, I can see they're more trusting. Leaving the bar, so to be weird. Yeah, I guess that's true. It is kind of weird that I'm supposed to be leaving the bar and I'm just sitting here or walking around here listening to their conversation. Oh, what's going on here?
まったくうちのボスは人使いが荒いぜ。その分役得もあるけどよ。
You guys look like thugs. He looks a bit like a Yakuza thug. Hoodlum. I mean, Barrett's a little hard to miss. I think if you just waited around, you'll probably run into him.
500でどうだ
200。
300だ。
まあいい。じっくり聞かせてもらうぜ。こっちだ。
Yeah, it's funny how, with the more detail we see here, right? Because in original Final Fantasy VII, obviously with the limitations in graphics, we got basically anime-ish visuals. Here, the people look a lot more real, but the main characters still have anime-ish big eyes and stuff like that, right? But a lot of the minor characters and extras look very much like they're trying to make them look realistic. And they look kind of like real people from real cultures. Like Gwen before looked like an African American or maybe a black European or something like that. And these guys look like Japanese thugs to my eyes. They look like Yakuza or something like that, or maybe Hong Kong, like that. Wonder how much of that kind of thing they thought about and planned for when they created this game. Probably a lot, I'm guessing a lot, because obviously Final Fantasy is Square Enix's premier brand, right? I can't think of another game series that they have that is at the level of Final Fantasy in terms of popularity and stature and everything. So it would make sense that they would put a lot of thought into making sure that this world is really well built, believable and everything. How many Johnnies? I think you'd need an infinite of them, to be honest. Because any amount of Johnnies, he's just gonna cut right through like paper. Okay. So I had the feeling that this was coming. There. Oh shit. Okay, so maybe I should target the yeah. Let's cure. And oh, are they getting some sort of power boost? They might be. But yeah, I mean, looking at Johnny, he's pretty pathetic. He can't possibly stand up to Barrett. Like, you could take 1,000 of them and Barrett would just cut right through him. It's just not fair. At least that's the sense that I get. Also, let's assess. He drinks a concoction. Oh, so he gets hyper armor. And okay, yeah, he gets perfect hyper armor, it looks like. That's fun. Fire. Ooh, nice. Fire seems to be pretty good for knocking them back. You know, actually, after playing this for a little bit now, I guess I'm about 3 or 4 hours into it. I get the sense that the... Oh, come on. I get the sense that this sort of pseudo pause that they have here is actually a full pause. And what they're doing is making it seem like it's not a full pause by having certain animations play out in slow-mo, but in fact they are actually still paused. Damn it. Having to... Oh shit. This guy... I want to get rid of the weakened guys first, I guess. I need to use the special abilities more often. Because it does seem like it takes a lot of time. Like... For... Okay, damn, that combo. Yakuza game prequel sequel. Oh yeah? Yeah, I've heard there's some big Yakuza stuff going down. Like, they're gonna turn Yakuza into a turn-based game, it seems? Which seems... I've never played a Yakuza game, to be honest, but they look pretty wild. And it looked like they were generally third-person action-ish, with slightly open world-ish elements, but not really. But also, it had the very fun sense of humor, I thought. But I was thinking of the thugs in Yakuza when I was thinking of these guys. Yeah, like the actual games. Because, to be honest, I have very little other actual frame of reference for actual Yakuza, right? I don't know much about Yakuza, like, actual ones. And I don't know much about their fictional depictions either, other than the Yakuza video game. Okay, come on, switch to Punisher. Damn, that hyper armor. Alright, let's use abilities, triple slash. There we go. But that fight, I struggled at the beginning, but I guess I kind of figured it out a little better. I'm hoping I can, yeah, carry on playing a little better. Because I can manage to beat all the fights so far, I think, but I mean, obviously, I haven't died yet, but I'm also not playing that well. I feel like the combat to me doesn't feel very fluid, or at least I feel like I'm not playing the combat as fluidly as I should, or as aggressively as I could, or as defensively as I should, to be honest, because I feel like those are two sides of the same coin in a way. Oh shit, really? Can I not go around here? This is I have to go all the way back around? Seriously? Can Cloud not even hop this fence? Ah. Oh. I mean, I don't mind the lack of jump, but I guess it feels a little silly that Cloud, of all people, cannot get around this area. Like, have you seen the kind of shit he can pull off in Advent Children? Like, the dude can literally fly. There are moments in the movie, particularly the fight scene in the tunnel where he's on a motorcycle against two other guys. He literally flies for a few seconds. It's nuts. And a little fence is stopping this guy. Oh, I'm supposed to go home. Oh. Only for the main Yakuza series, like Yakuza Like Dragon, but not for the prequel. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. It's supposed to be more like the original or the existing games. Oh, hey, Jesse. What's going on here? Alright, I'd be in the same boat as Cloud. It jumps to impress Tifa. Oh yeah, during combat, right? What's going on? Why you gotta bring that gun to my bedroom? Whoa, what do you want me to do with that? You want me to stick that where? I don't know, that's awfully big. I'm not sure it's gonna fit. Proposition?
でもこれ他のメンバーには内緒にしてよね。今夜のうちに解決しておきたい個人的な問題なの。今夜？そう。一緒に並ぶ。
Okay, I like where this is going. Tonight, you and me together.
目的はみちみち話すから。
Why can't you give me the details now?
明日は大仕事だろ。
そうだけど、今やらないともっと大変なことになるから。ねえ、話は決まったってことでいい？うん。手付金代わりね。
I actually don't remember this from the game. I know that at some point, or from the original, I know at some point within the next...
私の計算だと出発したら朝まで戻れない。準備は今のうちにしっかりね。
So I guess I should make sure to prepare. But I was thinking, in the original, I know that within the next couple chapters, I will be going to some hostess bar. I think? Is it a bar? Hostess club? Where we'll go in with, what, at least with Tifa and Cloud, and is Aerith involved too? I know, or maybe it's Jessie. I know it's two of the women and Cloud. Jessie, not a word to Tifa. Yeah. I don't think that's the kind of thing that would end in tears and blood. But alright, I think I'll save now, and I think I didn't want to stream too long today. I'm almost 2 hours in, so what I'm gonna do is move over to Genshin Impact, but just for maybe about 20 minutes to do some housekeeping and to do the event, because it seemed like from the streams that I watched, the event is actually very, very short, at least on a day-to-day basis, and I figured I could do it, save it all up for Sunday or something and do it then, but I figure might as well do a little bit at a time, and yeah, since I'm on stream anyway, but yeah, like I said, probably another 20 minutes, maybe 30, depending on how the event goes. But let's see, this does mean I have it saved, right? Yeah. You ever find that we'll have no regrets? I mean, I don't know. I think we might have some regrets, depending on how she how she responds. But so far, I gotta admit, I like Jessie a lot. She could be a strong contender as another major female protagonist in this series, right? Along with obviously Tifa, Aerith, and Yuffie. You've been in something like 10 minutes. Okay, thank you. 10 minutes. So let's actually do that, because I haven't even... Oh, let me also change... Let me change my stream description, even though it'll only be for a little bit. Might as well. I do like to keep things actually, you know, accurate. And I figure I am, you know, I like to split up my videos, and like with single player games, well, with like single player campaigns like a Devil May Cry or Final Fantasy, where a Genshin Impact is, of course, single player with multiplayer components, but it's not a single player campaign per se. I like to try to, I like to create a playlist of just that game that I play. So this makes it a little easier for me to split. Also, I went to the wrong place. I'm supposed to go to the Adventurers Guild. Also, one thing about going from DMC or Final Fantasy to Genshin, it is very annoying that you cannot use the D-pad in menus. And I'm guessing this is the case in PS4 as well, so you probably know what I'm talking about. That, yeah, that in the menus you have to use the analog stick to choose. Like press... Oh, actually, wait! Pressing up and down works here? It does work here, but it doesn't work in the alchemy, or... That is... Yeah, well, it's odd, but at least I know it works here, so I'll be able to use that. Taking on a new commission. What kind of commission? Killer trolls in the wild are once again starting to band together. Okay, sure, that always seems to be a problem. Unusual. Oh, yeah, I remember hearing that this is going to be about the unusual hill troll. Alright, so let's just go visit the unusual. Oh, it takes a bit of a moment for the map to get marked, maybe? I don't think I've been to this area in a while. This is the big-ass, yeah, it is the big-ass tree. And there's a lot of stuff around here that you can collect. I don't really need crystal flies, especially since Fischl gave us 10 of them for free today. But even if she didn't give us any... Oh, I saw a great comic on Reddit today where somebody depicted Fischl giving the Traveler 10 crystal flies. Because I think for a lot of people, because maybe they don't farm crystal flies as consistently as I do, but it seems for a lot of people, having crystal flies enough to always condense resin as you want is an issue. See. Oh, I was hoping that they'd voice Ella Musk. Curious what he sounds like. Yeah, that's why you keep hiring me for commissions on certain days. Help you out to do the exact same thing. Talking to bossing us around. Yeah, that seems like Ella Musk. Okay, I like Elon Musk's scientific thinking. You only find out where the problems in your research lie through real-world application. That's certainly true. Come up with a theory, hypothesis, you need need to make sure to check it against real world again and again and again, because just because you get it right many times doesn't mean it's right. It needs to not be wrong even once, basically. Chapter 4, you defeat the boss and you keep 80% Cloud's health, you unlock a special scene. Oh, really? Thank you, I'll keep that in mind. I'll try to target that. I guess with Final Fantasy VII Remake, since you do have the ability to heal, that's something that I might be able to manage. But we'll see how hard that boss is and how good I'm at the game at that point, and all that. We'll see. Maybe it might be a bit tough for me to shoot for in my first playthrough. Who knows? Yeah. Ooh, I would love to get Ella Musk as a playable character. Oh, I'm now taking commissions from Hilichurls. Designated time. Mutual exchange. That Thundering Fury domain? I need to start farming that soon. Because I think what I want to do... Special motorcycle fight. Oh, interesting. That sounds really cool. Oh, right. Wasn't there a motorcycle fight in the original Final Fantasy VII as well? I think because the game deviated from just being basic... Well, not basic, but its main JRPG turn-based combat quite a few times. I remember there's one sequence, for instance, where Tifa has to break herself out of a situation in a room which is being filled with gas, I think. And there's no UI. You just have to press buttons and figure out how to get Tifa to get out of there. But that's a short but a full gameplay segment. And it is very different from the actual RPG part. Also, my Xingqiu is finally level 80, and actually it's pretty impressive to me how well built he is for me already. So I think that crit rate is actually not accurate, because I think that's from a buff of a sort. Because his weapon... Oh yeah, it's the 28% crit rate buff. That's what's making it that 58.8. Otherwise, it's actually 40. Yeah, no, 30, sorry. But with the weapon, as long as I keep him at 90 or above, he's got almost a 60% crit rate. And that 146 crit damage is actually... Like, that's higher than my DPS crit damage. Look at her crit damage. It's only 100. Right now, my Xingqiu has DPS like crit damage numbers, and his ER is pathetic. Right, it's 115. So there's a lot to still work on, but he is doing tons of damage for me right now, and I'm loving that. Okay, Mita Movo Lata. What does that mean? Some sort of meat? Mita Movo Lata. Here's his 1.5k attack, 50% crit rate, 100 crit damage, 200% crit ER. Yeah, that's... See, those are more the numbers that I feel like I should aim for, because without the ER, all that crit damage really doesn't help me that much, right? Because I need to have his burst up as often as possible. So getting that ER up to, maybe not necessarily 200, but even like 150, certainly higher than the 120 that I have right now, right? Meat. And Ovo Latte. So they're really making us read for this event, huh? So I don't see any other thing here. It refers to meat in the water. Okay, so that must be fish. There's another Hilichurl over there. Yes. Very, very important for Xingqiu. Yeah. And also the fact that his E has such a long cooldown. I feel like it probably has the longest cooldown out of anyone outside of someone like Child if you use his E and just stick with melee mode for a long time. But I'm not sure. Jingchu and Chi-Chi both have very long E cooldowns. But for that reason, I'd love to get Sack Sword on him, right? But I don't have a Sack Sword. That's why I have the Harbinger of Dawn, which I think is still a very good weapon for him, because the way I'm gonna use him is generally gonna be he's gonna be off the field. So I won't have to worry too much about his HP being lower than 90%. Do not have the Sack Sword. Yeah. Yeah, the lack of the Sack Sword, right? Because I can't use his E as often, and his E really helps a lot in terms of generating energy particles, right? So yeah, I was thinking, like, I could also equip a battery of a sort to help him out, but I'm not sure what that would look like. Because I think you do get a buff in ER for if you have double Hydro Resonance. But the other part of Hydro Resonance is pretty mediocre because it gives a healing buff, I think. And a healing buff, yeah, at least that's better than nothing, but Favonius Sword, oh. Let me actually check what the Hydro Resonance is. Oh no, it doesn't even offer energy recharge. It's affected by Pyro for 40% less time. Yeah, double Hydro is very niche, it seems like. Not very useful in most cases. So yeah, mine's attack is pretty low, huh? And Favonius Sword. Actually, do I have the Favonius? No, I don't. So you can see these are all the 4-star swords I have. It's essentially the Black Sword, the Lion's Roar, Prototype Rancor, and Festering Desire. So these are both free to play. This one's black BP. And so Lion's Roar is literally the only 4-star sword I've ever pulled in the game. So hey, that just means I'm due for one, right? Maybe the next one will be Sack Sword. Speaking of next one, I just remembered I actually have a pull that I need to use. So let me go ahead and use that. Because I always save my pulls for streaming. Hey, got another Harbinger of Dawn. Yay. Yeah. Oh, right, that's the history. I hate that it switches over to mouse and keyboard in that view. Really want to buy Lisa this month. I'm really close to pulling the trigger for buying Lisa. Whoa. Kinda like that voice. Literal just. But what's with this music? Wait. Are you gonna... Okay, is that guy not willing to make conversation? Does he just want to fight? I assumed he was the guy I was supposed to talk to, because he was... Oh, is it this guy? Oh, yeah, okay. Because I noticed in the other area there were 2 Hilichurls. There was a Hilichurl behind the other Hilichurl that was also there. And I wasn't sure exactly what was going on. This is a level 70 Yanfei, with pretty poor build, and because of Jingshu, she's just destroying. Got an R8 Lion's Roar. Well, hey, that means you can put it on. Well, Lion's Roar is what? It's Pyro and Electro, right? So you put one on Keqing, which I'm guessing you already have an R5 one, and put on R3 on. Okay, I can't think of a Pyro Sword user other than Bennett, and Bennett you don't want that weapon on. Oh, okay, that second weapon, I'm not so sure. But hold on to it. We'll have more Electro characters once Inazuma releases, right? I'm sure we'll get an Electro Sword users. Hey, we'll probably get more Pyro Sword users too. Me. Ada Valo. Go to the designated location for a fight. I'll just walk there. Teleport waypoint doesn't seem to be any closer. I do appreciate that they gave Yanfei the ability to detect Liyue stuff. I wonder when they'll do that with the 4-star Mondstadt character. Because that way I can swap out... or I can put in Diona as my healer instead of Chi-Chi. Even if Chi-Chi is a better healer, I kind of like using Diona because she's a little more offensively supportive. And also because she provides that shield. Try to do this quickly. Okay, so what I can tell, it seems like with Yanfei, you want to alternate her E and her charge attack, along with her Q and her charge attack, or 3 hits with her combo, her regular auto attack, along with the charge attack, because I think basically it seems you want to have a full stack of that thing, of those 3 things that appear behind her, because that reduces the charge attack stamina consumption. At least, yeah, that's the sense that I get. So that's sort of how I've been trying to play her. Let's use her E. Use her burst. Try to use BP Claymore on you, 70% crit rate and 200 crit damage, holy shit. That's nuts. Attack went down to 1.9k. Yeah, less damage, yeah. I imagine, yeah, because Wolf's Gravestone, from the sound of things, at least, again, I don't have it and I haven't really looked into it, but from what you described, it offers some major attack buffs on top of everything. So even if you get the higher, even if the Wolf's Gravestone has a lower crit rate, it's like the major attack buffs just make up for it. So that even if you're not critting as often, the few times that you do crit, or the few word times, because you're still critting pretty often, right? The numbers are just way bigger. Yeah, that's the sense that I get. You have 2.75k attack with Wolf's Gravestone. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's higher than my Ganyu's. Let's see, my Ganyu's, yeah, 2.59. Almost 2.6k. Yours is, yeah, higher. And we all know how busted Ganyu is known to be, so if you can out-damage Ganyu, at least in terms of the attack number, you're in a pretty good place. Okay, so I see what they're doing here. They're putting in 1 decoy Hilichurl that you have to kill if you encounter it, along with 1 actual story-related Hilichurl that you want to actually talk to. Progress. Noblesse and oh! Holy shit, yeah. Noblesse and that Millilith, but... yeah, you can do some pretty... you can stack some pretty nice buffs that way. Unta Nunu. Yeah, let's try to speak Hilichurlian, because I think trying to speak in English to it is probably not the best idea. Unta Nunu, late night. Alright, let's look at the other times. Waking until lunch. So I'm guessing that's... I see 4 different settings, so I'm thinking each one probably covers 6 hours. Until lunch makes me think of noon. So 6 to noon. Noon to 6. Okay, so Unta Nunu must be midnight to 6. I'm thinking. At around this time. But where will it appear? Still level 85. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, you still have some more room to improve. That's a nice feeling, right? That's one reason why I haven't maxed out my Ganyu quite yet, even though she is getting there. She's getting there. She's still only level 89. So, she's still got 1 level to go. And I think I'll try to see... maybe I can just get her up higher naturally, but I doubt she can get from 89 to 90 naturally. Oh, no, that's the... Search for the village. But where? I think I might have... Oh, okay, it's there. Live the third star weapon. Oh yeah, you mean Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayers. That's the 3-star book that gives 48% attack buff to the next character you switch to. Yeah, that's the weapon that I basically permanently have on Barbara. Oh, you gave it to Lisa. Okay, that makes sense. At least if you're using her as a support. Right. But you can see my Barbara, actually. I gave her weapon level 85. I'm probably going to take it up to 90 at some point just for the HP. But it feels kind of silly with Barbara because, of course, attack doesn't do jack for her.
Yeah.
But given that the weapon does have HP as the substat, I figured getting it up to 85 for the extra HP, not too bad an idea. I wonder if there's any fun photo things that I can do. I don't know, let's just fight it. You can always find unusual hilichurls around the map, right? Not always, only twice a day, but it's still twice a day. So if I really want to take photos, I can always do it. Oh, he spawns other hilichurls, huh? To raise Eula, yeah. Same. I've gotten into a habit, basically, when I do use Barbara, which is less and less these days because I've gotten better healers and such, right? But as I've done that, I've... every time I use Barbara, basically, I switch to Barbara right before I switch to my main DPS. So that I get that, what, is it 10 seconds, I think? Of 48% attack buff, which is pretty significant, right? It's very significant. Put that shield. Oh shit. Yeah, I still need to get better at using Yanfei's attacks properly. Just having that combo ordered properly where you create the stacks behind her, and then you use them with the charge attack. Okay, got that. Oh, okay, his shield is broken. Oh. Okay, there. I wonder how big the AoE on the Catalyst users' plunge attacks are, because their plunge attacks, the AoE always looks so little. Okay, he built his shield again. Okay, is it? Okay, I guess it's over when you kill the unusual hilichurl. Probably use the Favonius Codex or the Witsith on Lisa. Yeah, I heard that the Witsith is one of the best 4-star weapons for an offensive. Oh, I've pressed triangle to climb. That, I guess that was the unusual hilichurl running away or something? Right. And I'm guessing the Favonius Codex is essentially set up just like any other Favonius weapon with ER. Oh, you use the Witsith on Mona. Personally, I think it's Map and Mare on Mona. I kind of like Map and Mare, yeah, on her. But Witsith, of course, I'm sure is a great weapon on her as well. Yeah, I only have 3 4-star books, huh? So I use Eye of Perception on her. Stack frag I think works great on Sucrose. So I'm gonna do my daily run of this domain, and we'll see what I get. I used Mapamare on Sucrose. Yes, I used to use Mapamare on Sucrose until I got my sacrificial fragments. So it is definitely a very good weapon for her as well because of the EM. Oh, you don't have that weapon? Okay. What is it? What was I gonna say? The thing with between Mapamare and is there no way to choose by weapon type? So between Mona, you can see that the Mapamare at level 75 has EM 96, whereas Sucrose at Sacrificial Fragments, level 75, it has EM 191, so it has almost double the EM at the same level. That's why I decided to put it on Sucrose. But Mapamare is a great choice for Sucrose as well. I used to use it on her. Because it also does provide a solid EM. Oh shit. And you're using her skill pretty often, right? At least you should be. One of the weapons that yeah, so yeah, RNG is odd sometimes, right? Like the Amos bow. I'm still like every time I think about it, I'm still kind of shocked that it happened. It's one of those moments, like I've had enough moments in gacha that are kind of absolutely nuts, right? To know that crazy things like that can happen, but every time it happens, it's always just, it never gets old. Like pulling 3 Jean d'Arcs in one tentpole. Of course, one of them was a guaranteed, but still. Or pulling Amos bow with the Acquaint Fate that I got from leveling up Ganyu? Like, what are the odds of that? I mean, it's easy to calculate, right? But it's like, it's such a freak occurrence, right? Or the bell. Yeah. The bell. Hey, secret best weapon in the game. I'm gonna prove it someday. Gonna prove it. Just you watch. Just you wait. Yeah, sac frag. Use it on Sucrose. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, great. Definitely a great weapon on Sucrose. Alright, so this one's a timepiece on the melt. I keep saying melt because I think of Melt Lilith instead of Millilith. Easy to confuse, I think. Those two words sound similar. But anyway, on the Millilith set, I want HP as the main stat, and I want HP substats with ER, maybe. Nope, garbage. Rolls for Gene on the story. Oh yeah, it's RNG messing with us, or the RNG gods. Now this one's a circlet on the physical piece, so I want crit rate or crit damage main stat, and crit as substats. Back, and the substats are garbage too. Alright, all garbage. Garbage. Artist, I don't care about. Rush. I don't like 4 stars, especially since flowers you can be picky, but that one maybe. But alright, another pretty mediocre run. So the final thing I'm gonna do before I get off stream is pick up the artifact that's up here. Because while I'm up here, I might as well. And I like to take care of these Fatui with Ganyu, even if I'm working on a character, because fuck these guys. I don't like fighting them from up close. And if I'm fighting them from afar, well, Ganyu is basically the best option. You know, the leaks about the next banner. Yeah. We're less than 12 hours away from finding out. I am, not gonna lie, I'm legit pretty excited, even if it does look more and more like we're not gonna get a Gene banner. But hey, one can hope. One can hope. I'll probably end up buying the Jean costume even if there's no Jean banner. I'm thinking if there is no Jean banner, at least not one confirmed, what I'll probably do is keep doing some pulls on the Eula banner, and also do some pulls on the Clay banner. And, you know, depending on how things go, I might pull on Kazuha banner, but that's still a ways to go, so no need to really worry too much about that. I imagine for Kazuha, I won't be pulling for him. If I pull for him, I won't be pulling for him until they announce what's next afterwards. And like I said, it is looking a lot like we're gonna be seeing Inazuma right after, or at least that's one hypothesis a certain Twitter user laid out, and it seemed plausible to me. Seems plausible. I wouldn't bet on it, but... Oh, another thing I need to do, and I keep forgetting to do this. I like doing this on... Can I just deploy it here? I like to do this on stream. A few weeks ago, there were leaks about Pyro Archer Samurai. Pyro Archer Samurai. Okay, so it could be... That one could be the true Amber 2.0 instead of Ganyu, maybe? Because that one's actually Pyro. True. Yeah, when 1.7 leaks will appear. Yeah, I imagine it'll be probably around similar time frame, right? At some point between... Excuse me, the end of Zhongli's banner and the beginning of Kazuha's banner, assuming... Or not, sorry, not Zhongli. Zhongli's the first banner of this past one. Between Clay's banner and Kazuha's banner, I imagine we'll get some leaks coming out. All right, so honestly, I don't know which ones are the most worth using up, but I probably won't stop fighting Ruin Guards anytime soon, so let's use this. Okay, Oz, time for you to do your job. Also, Zhongli, your pillar. Time for that to do its job. There we go. I don't quite get why they made it do this. Why make you go through this very, like, basic motion? Oh wow, this is a good set of drops. This is a very good set of drops. These are all resin based. That's fantastic, I like it. During the beginning of one, you think you will get leaks that early? I don't quite have a good idea of the time frame of when we get leaks, to be honest. But I've always felt like it was between the two banners in that range. Like, once we're a little bit into one update, and then once, but still a decent amount of time before the next update, right? You'll see one soon with the codes tomorrow. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't remember. Do you have a guarantee on the next one? I don't know how much pity you have built up, but I know you've been spending all your primos basically trying to pull for her, which that is definitely the best idea when it comes to a waifu. That's certainly what I plan to do when Jean gets a raid up. I'm just going all in every single primo gem. If she's your waifu, you go all the way. You go balls deep, as they say, for your waifu. Freeze bus bed. Let me this. Then. Okay, so I'm guessing it looks like we've probably only got one new blueprint today. I'll place some of these inside. You think it was much earlier? Okay. You were already saving for Eula during the Venti banner. Really? I think I do vaguely remember that. Yeah, something like that, that Eula was leaked somewhat early. How do I do this? You can see my pine room. Actually, I can still fit a few more in here. me make sure to adjust these. I can't imagine how frustrating this must be for PS4 players who can only do this with the controller. At least I always have the option switching to mouse and keyboard. Such a shame. Don't worry about placing those. Let's just keep placing these because they take up so little space and they give a few points. Oh yeah, nice. You can place those on. Alright. So I think I've basically basically accomplished what I wanted to do today. Yeah, about 2.5 hours in. I think that's a good place to stop. So yeah, thank you again for coming by, Nat. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I won't be streaming tomorrow because I unfortunately have some work in the evening and such. But I might be streaming over the weekend because the weather's looking pretty awful, so I'll probably be indoors a lot. So I might end up streaming at times a little earlier than I usually do because, you know, usually I like to go in on the evening when it's dark outside, but if it's going to be rainy and miserable, I'll probably be indoors all day. But, yeah. You don't like to play the housing game this way? Yeah, I like to just cheese it for now until I unlock all the stuff that I want, which I'm not sure what they are going to be yet. And then I can try building it. But, yeah. Good luck with all your Eula pulls. I hope you get another copy of her tomorrow. That'll be good. And we'll find out more about 1.6 tomorrow, so I'm really excited about that. Have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.